Let every step be a meditation. You didn't come here by accident. Maybe a part of you is searching for peace. If that's true, then subscribe to Buddha Pray and stay with me until the very end, because every single day this place holds stories made for your soul. Let me ask you something. Have you ever walked so fast that you forgot your feet were even touching the ground? Have you ever lived a day so lost in thoughts that you didn't even know where you were going? You might think it's because you're tired, but maybe it's just because your mind has never paused. Now just imagine this. What if I told you that just one mindful step, one single step, could change your life forever? Would you believe it? Or would you laugh, like David once did when his mother Maria said she walked not to get somewhere, but to pray for his future? He didn't understand then, but one day he cried for her. Cried not because of her struggle, but because of her silence. So if you too are looking for something deeper, something real, then don't rush past this moment. Just walk with me, one breath at a time, one step back to your own heart. Maria was known in the village as the woman who walked forever every morning before the sun touched the trees. She stepped out of her small wooden house, wearing an old hat and carrying a basket of vegetables. She walked to the market, 7 kilometers each way, through dirt roads, through rain, through summer heat. She never complained, never asked for help, never stopped walking. People said she was stubborn, said she should buy a motorbike, said she was too old to walk so far. But Maria would smile and say gently, "Walking keeps my heart calm and my blessings flowing." Her husband had died when David was just a baby, so she raised him alone with her 2 hands and 2 feet. She walked to feed him, to buy his books, to send him to school. When he went to the city for university, Maria cried, not because she was sad, but because her prayers had worked every month. She walked to the bus station carrying rice, dried fish, and a little money in a cloth bag to visit her son. David grew up, became an engineer, got a job in a tall building, wore a tie, spoke fluent English, and forgot how his mother lived. One day he came home and saw Maria washing her feet by the well. Her heels were cracked, her slippers were thin like paper, and her hands were darker than the earth. He frowned and said, "Mom, why are you still walking? You could take a bus, you could ride a motorbike. Why live like this?" Maria looked up with her gentle eyes and said, "I don't walk because I have to. I walk to protect your future. Every step I take, I offer a prayer for you." David laughed and walked away. That night Maria wrote in her notebook, "Today I walked 7 kilometers, sold 5 bundles of greens," recited the Great Compassion mantra for David. She never told him, but every single day she offered her steps like incense, burning slowly for his peace. Years passed. Then one winter morning, Maria did not wake up. At her funeral, David found a tin box in her closet. Inside $35,000 in old bills, saved coin by coin, a pair of worn-out sandals, and a notebook. He opened it and read page after page. Each line was a step, each day was a prayer, each foot was love. Today, I stepped into mud, prayed for David's health. Tomorrow, I will bring fish, so he has more protein. David broke down, right there, not for the money, not even for the sacrifices, but because he had never known how loudly love could speak in total silence. From that day on, David began to walk every morning. He turned off his phone, took off his shoes and listened to his own footsteps, and in every quiet step, he could still hear his mother Maria whispering with love from somewhere beyond the clouds. In Buddhism, walking is not just a way to move, it is a way to return to ourselves. The Buddha once said, "When you walk, know that you are walking. When you sit, know that you are sitting." This is mindfulness. This is meditation in action. Maria may not have studied the scriptures, she may not have attended retreats, but every step she took was a prayer, a meditation, a seed of compassion. She walked with presence, with love, with a heart full of quiet devotion. The Satipatthana Sutta, known as the Discourse on the Four Foundations of Mindfulness, teaches us to be aware of every movement, every breath, every thought, without judgment, without rushing. To walk like Maria is to live like a monk in the world, feet on the ground, but heart in the Dharma. When David laughed at his mother, he did not see the sacredness in her footsteps. But when he read her notebook, he understood that every kilometer was not just distance, it was merit. It was karma, it was unconditional love, manifested through the body. Buddhism reminds us that the most powerful practice does not always happen in temples. It happens in the kitchen, in the fields, on the old roads our mothers walked. In the words of Thich Nhat Hanh, walk as if you are kissing the earth with your feet. Maria kissed the earth. With every step, she touched the divine without ever saying the word. True practice is not about how much you chant or how many sutras you memorize. It is about how you live, how you love, how you walk. One silent step, taken with awareness, can change not only your own karma, but also the karma of those you love. Maria knew this. She lived it. She left it behind, not in temples, but in the heart of her son. If you've made it this far, maybe you're not just a viewer. You are someone who is quietly searching for truth. Maybe you have walked many roads in life, fast busy, without ever feeling the ground beneath your feet. Maybe you are tired, not just in your body, but in your soul. And if that is true, then this story is not just Maria's story, it is yours. You don't need to walk 7 kilometers every day. You don't need to carry a basket of vegetables. You don't need to live in a small wooden house. But what you do need is to walk with presence, with love, with awareness, because every step you take is a chance to come home to yourself, to your peace, to your Dharma, to your truth. Ask yourself, how many steps have I taken without knowing I was walking? How many times have I ignored the love that came without words? The Buddha said, peace comes from within, do not seek it without. So today, take one mindful breath, then one mindful step, not for the world, not for success, but for yourself. And if this story touched you even a little, then I ask you this, would you send it to someone who might also need it today? Would you leave a comment and tell me what this story reminded you of? Have you ever misunderstood someone's love? Have you ever found meaning only after they were gone? Leave your story below, because someone else might need it more than you know. And if you believe that love can live in silence, that peace can walk quietly beside us, then share this message. Let it ripple through someone's life. Not every story changes the world, but this one might change someone's world. Maybe yours, maybe someone you love. Subscribe, not for me but for your soul, because every day there is a story waiting here just for you.